No sleeping. No, you sleep coming to the wow.
Hello, hi guys. Just waiting for people to log in, then we can start. Lorraine, say hi.
Hey people, how are you?
All right, just waiting. So we, once we have at least like 20 people, then we can begin. Hi, Ayub. Hi, how are you? Okay. Hi, John. Hi, how are you? I hope kura zenu umeziaka vizuri. Amjahama Nairobi kama you're voting in Nairobi. Hi, George. Karibu. Hi, David. Hi, Josephine. How are you? All right, so let's wait for at least like 6 more people. Doti, what's up? Bariako. Asana Lokinyal. Hi, Sila. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Mary. Very good, are you? Hi, Senior Nyex. Hi, girl. How are you? Abaria Mombasa. Jabernya Henry. Nya London. Hi, how are you? Hi, Moses. Hi, Wadokot. Akot. Yeah, so 5 more people, then we can begin. Hi, Jack. Hi, how are you? Thanks for watching. Karibu sana. Hi, Lydia. Biore Mama. Hi, Abraham. Hi, Meshach. Hi. 3 more people. Hi, Nanjala. All right, guys, so I'll get right into it. First of all, thank you so much to Cecilia, Helen, and Lizzie for driving this. This has been really, really great. We've had a lot of people talking about Raila. We've seen how it's made people have a change of mind. So much appreciation to you two ladies for driving this. Let's have more people going live. So why Raila? And I'll just begin by talking about my background. I grew up in a family that is very, very political, and political in the sense that we love getting to know what is going on out there, being part of it, and that kind of thing. So back around, let's say, like 12 years ago, there was a lot of hype about this man called Raila all over the country. And I used to ask my dad, I mean, why this guy? Why does he have such a following from people? Why do people just change and decide they want to support him? And so he gave me this book, Raila Odinga, An Enigma in Kenyan Politics, and told me, read this book, then let me know what you think. So I read the book from page 1 to the last page, and once I was done, I was totally converted. Yeah. Some would refer to it as psychophancy, but I'd like to refer to it as psychophancy coming from an area of knowledge, and that's where I come from. You see, I mean, the presidency, and especially the fact that we are in a democratic state, so that means that our president is someone we have to vote for. So in essence, us as Kenyans, we are the employers, and this is our employee. And in actual sense, I mean, when you go out there and interview guys and tell guys, we want a candidate, we want to employ someone for this role, you give out what you, in essence, call are the responsibilities you expect and the qualifications. And I mean, all of them qualify, right? They all have a degree, they all have been leaders in this country, all the 8 candidates. But then again, and if you've had the opportunity of being an interviewee, when all the candidates that you're presented with are candidates who are well qualified, then ideally you would go for the person who demonstrates the most passion. And I'm sure from you guys, without a doubt, there's only one person who's demonstrated adequate passion for this country. Passion is one, attitude is another thing. And guys, I mean, academy, your knowledge will take you places, but there are places that can't open doors for you if you have the wrong attitude and you're not passionate enough. And for me, Raila represents someone who is actually passionate. I look at some of the world leaders that we have out there that I would equate to who Raila is. And I mean, he is a combination of the brains that was Thomas Sankara, the charismatic that JF Kennedy and Obama have, the efficiency that Magufuli has, the nationalist that Nelson Mandela was, and then now combined with just the person that he is and the passion that he drives for us. And so, and I'll just pick a few examples while I talk about the specific qualities that Raila has and why him, why Kenyans should vote for this man. The very first quality that he has that is very unique is that he is a very creative and innovative mind. Yeah, and I'll give you an example of take you back a few years when a young Raila first joined the Kenya Bureau of Standards as an employee. Way before Kenya Bureau of Standards had what we now call the standardization measures, Raila was actually the face behind what you see as the mark of quality and quantity on the goods that we have. That KBS mark that you see there, the person behind that was actually Raila Odinga while he was working in that organization. And because of that, Kenya Bureau of Standards was actually the first company in East Africa to be given ISO certification. And this is, I mean, this is a guy who, once you have that kind of person in your organization, you want them to lead and do other things as well. And I mean, immediately after that, he got promoted, yeah, and he became a manager in that same organization. And so this is a very creative and innovative mind that, I mean, Kenya has so much potential, and you know he'll do quite a lot once you give him that opportunity. The other reason that I would vote for Raila is because he's a very analytical mind. Analytical in the sense that he just doesn't speak out of the blues. He speaks when he has facts. Yeah. For example, the other day during the debate, he said that our inflation rate has gone a notch to 40%. In essence, when you break this down, it means that anything that cost you 100 shillings in 2013 now costs around 140 shillings. And when the statisticians did the analysis of whether or not this was a factual information from him, it turned out that it was actually factual. So before he comes out and tells us this is what I want to do, he does his homework. He does a root cause analysis of what is it that we are doing wrong in this country and how can I change it. And so, I mean, when it comes to inflation, he has exactly his plan of what he thinks we can do differently. The other big issue that we have is taxation. Yeah, there have been a lot of complaints that our taxation is not being done right. We have instances of over-taxation. And remember, one of the key points that Raila said is our problem is not that our taxation is high. Our problem is that it's not being collected efficiently. We have a lot of taxation leakage in this country that needs to be fixed so that at least the government can have much more money and give us a budget that is more realistic for us to be able to do anything. So when a presidential candidate tells me that he's going to ensure that tax is collected efficiently, then definitely that is someone that I want to be my president. Something else about him that I also like, a good quality, is he's humorous. And I mean, in this world where people don't have so much fun, I want a leader who makes me laugh. When he speaks and he says something I like. Like the other day when he said, is it Joe or Linus, who kept insisting that we have a tallying center in Tanzania. And Baba said, no, we have a tallying center in Kenya, and then in the clouds. Yeah, and that was quite a funny way of putting it, but funny in a smart way. Yeah, so he does have jokes. Some people refer to them as vitendawili, but they come out in, I mean, making things look like it's never that serious, guys. Yeah, and this is a leader who makes us laugh, and that is what we like. And we want that kind of a person as one of our leaders, a charismatic, enthusiastic man. The other fact is about his passion. I mean, guys, look at our leaders, the current crop of leaders that we have. Show me someone who has more passion for this country than Raila. I doubt you will find anyone close to him. People are passionate, yes, but his level of passion for this country is on another level. This is a guy who I am sure when he sleeps, when he's just resting, all he thinks about is Kenya. How can I make this country better? What can I do differently? I mean, the guy went through detention, suffered so that we can get, the sort of liberation that we have right now. Even these things like Facebook Live, we wouldn't be having that if it wasn't for what Raila did, right? And I mean, for just doing that, I mean, I want him to have that privilege of leading this country so that he can transmit that sort of passion that he has to the rest of us. And we can all just love our country. We have an amazing country, very optimistic people with good energy. And I mean, when you have a leader who, when he speaks out there, a nationalist to the rest of the world, and they see the kind of passion that he displays, that is a leader that I want. Someone who I know, before he makes any decisions for this country, he'll first think, is this good for my people? Is this not good for my people? He'll think about the country first before he thinks about himself. And that is what Raila represents. Something else about him also that I like, and that has come out in the recent past, is that he's a very thoughtful person. Yeah, I mean, look at his what he wants to do for single parents, and I mean that was just gracious, extremely gracious of him. Rarely do you find leaders thinking about some of these groups. Yeah, and that was quite something. Baba, hats off to you for thinking about single mothers, and that was a very big deal. Yeah, and I'm sure I saw some guys talking about how about single fathers, and I'm sure he's also thought of that as well. He can't just think of one group and leave out another group. So thoughtful in that sense, and I mean, that's a leader that you want right there. The other thing is that he's very realistic. Yeah, Raila is a very realistic person. If you go through his manifesto and some of the plans that he has for this country, they're not just out of the blues, and he doesn't say everything immediately. Yeah, but he has put plans in place that will actually make us get to where we're going. Remember when he was Minister for Roads and the whole bypass thing came up? Look now, I mean, guys are really enjoying the bypasses that we have right now. Yeah. So I mean, guys, we live in a world that is not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Not in Kenya, not anywhere in this world. But in every situation that has imperfections, everyone wants and is looking out there for something that they can clutch at. Yeah. So in this very imperfect world, we have this guy called Raila. He's not perfect. I'm not saying Raila is perfect, but in the state of imperfectionists, he's actually the most perfect that we have. So what will you do as you, I mean, the guys watching, guys out there? Right now, let's talk about Raila. Demystify him, especially to the young generation. The young ones who do not understand the historic injustices that happened to Raila, and why this craze that most of us have. They don't know about the detention stories. They don't know that he had to escape this country so many times, sometimes at night in a boat as a priest, just so that we could get to enjoy the liberation that we have right now. Demystify Raila to them. Make them understand who this man is, why we should vote for him, why he's a change that we have. And I mean, look at things like devolution. Yeah, devolution is not yet perfect because it's not being implemented as Raila wanted it to be. Right now, we only have 15% allocated to it. Raila says devolution needs about 45%. And for those people that live in the outskirts of Nairobi, we've seen what devolution can do. So let's give a chance to this guy who believed in devolution from the word go, so that we can see what else can be done. So let's talk about Raila. Let everyone know why he's the guy that we need. And then come out and vote, guys. Our votes, our numbers is the game changer. Yeah, we've been crying a lot about the injustices that have been going on in this country. Guys losing their lives, rendering families, orphans, women, widows, because I mean, people like Chris Musando losing their life because of all this that is happening. But the one weapon that we have as Kenyans is actually our votes, and the only way our